Fine. So we need to start. Education sector in India. Okay, fine. So yesterday we discussed that elementary school, then important point about government expenditures. So what are the expenditures they are doing? First thing is for elementary school. Okay, yesterday we have discussed what is elementary school like. Education, elementary school or primary school education take a major share of total education expenditure. Share of higher or tertiary education, that is institute of higher learning like college, polytechnic, universities, is the least. You can see we can find n number of schools. We can able to see n number of government schools, whereas you can see about the government colleges. So it is very least. That is why it is called as what? Government, they are spending lot of investments expenditures on elementary school compared to tertiary and second tertiary. Then expenditure on tertiary education is important. Okay, so on average, government spends less on tertiary education. However, expenditure per student in tertiary education is higher than the elementary school. Yes or no? For example, for grade 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it won't cost much. It is not that much expensive one. Whereas if you go for this uh, higher studies like engineering or polytechnic or arts and science, we need to spend a lot compared to this. So, uh, but it does not mean that financial resources should be transferred from tertiary to elementary education. As we expand school education, we need more teachers who are trained in higher educational institution. So expenditure on all levels of education should be increased. Okay, so what they are saying, not only on elementary school. So education expenditure should be made on all the level in the sense like schoolings, then colleges and everything. The difference in educational opportunities across states. You can see in 2015, 14, 15, the expenditure cost for per education per capita education expenditure. That means per capita in the sense per person. It cost around 34,000 in Himachal Pradesh and 4,000 in Bihar. So what we need to do, we need to make equal in all the states. So inadequate expenditure on education. The expenditure on education is very less as compared to desired level of education. Expenditure recommended by various commissions. More than 40 years ago, the Education Commission, that is 1964 to 66, has recommended that at least 6% of GDP should spend on education. However, the current level of expenditure is little over 4%, which is quite inadequate. Okay, so every year, what happened in budget also? So they will allocate a lot for military in budget. During budget, I think we are discussing macroeconomics, government budget. What they will do, they will allocate budget for what finance, army, health, and education. So what they will do, the education expenditure will be less compared to all the other sectors. So yesterday, I hope you all attended yesterday session. Yeah, attend பண்ணீங்க தானே yesterday. Whether it was useful for you. Yesterday, ma'am asked about in India which country is highly producing medical students in the world. அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது India is number one. Yes or no? Yes. Am I audible? Are you all there, guys? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
So none of them opening your mouth. I was waiting for your reply. So yesterday, how many of them attended that program? Life of an IAS and IPS officer starts at the school. How many of them attended? So fine. So really, it was very useful course, very useful program. Fine. Let's back to the topic. Let me go for the session. So what happened? In the commission, okay. So what happened? The expenditure government they are doing very less expenditure on education. So with the commission in 1964 to 66, they stated that 6% of what GDP must be spent on education, but it is so far it is not adequate. Okay, it is not sufficient. You can take countries like America, Singapore, then you can take even Cuba, and they are spending a lot. The government they are doing expenditure on lot for education. The next one is provision for free and compulsory education. The Tapas Majumdar Committee were appointed by Indian government in 1984. Okay. 1998 on the expenditure around of 1.37 lakh crore over 10 years. That is 98 to 99 to 2006 to 7 to bring all Indian children in the age group of 6 to 14 years under the purview of school education. In 2009, Government of India enacted the Right to Educate Act to make free education a fundamental right to of all the children in the age group of 6 to 14. Government of India also started levying 2% education cess on all union taxes. The revenues from education cess has been earmarked for spending on elementary education. In addition to this amount, government sanctioned a large quantity for the promotion of higher education and new loan scheme for students to pursue higher education. So what happened? So compulsory education for what age group 16 to 14. That's what if you depute any child labor who is less than 14 or 14, then the particular employer will be in prison. Okay. So the government made a compulsory rule. It's a free education for all those who are in the age group up to age group 14. Okay, those who don't have sufficient finance. Even what happened, government they are giving loans. You can see education loan if a person want to do BE or MBA or an MBBS, and they can able to get loan from government like commercial bank with subsidies, and they can able to do their higher education. So that's what provision for free and compulsory education. So what about education achievement in India? So over 3 decades, you can see in 1990 the literacy rate of male is what it's slowly increasing. That is 61.9 percentage, 68 percentage, then 81 percentage. So what about female? That is the 15. These are all the categories of people. Those who are adult literacy rate, primary completion rate, youth literacy rate. Okay. So these are the three categories we are going to discuss. So adult in the sense 15 plus, then primary in the sense the primary completion, at least primary education, the school 6th, 7th வரைக்கும் முடிச்சவங்க. Then youth literacy rate means what? Up to graduates, like age group 15 to 24. So these three category, if we take minimum in 19 compare, we need to compare 3 years, 90, 2000, 2015, 3 decades. That means 30 years of lifespan. That is from 61 percentage. The education, that is the adult literacy rate increases to 81 percentage. If you take female, 37.9 percentage to 63 percentage. So there is a gradual increase in adult literacy rate. So what about primary completion? Almost 99% of women, that is girls, females, they have completed what? Primary. Okay, so they can able to read and write, and they can able to do basic calculations. And what about male? So from 78 to 94 percentage, they at least they have covered completed primary. And what about this youth literacy rate? So that is for 15 to 24%. That is that also increased gradually. 76 percentage in 1990 for male, and 92 percentage in 2015 for female. Sorry, male. It is increased from 76 to 92 percentage. And what about female? 56 to 87 percentage. So 54.2 percentage to 87 percentage. So all the 3 decades, the literacy rate of like adult literacy rate, then primary completion rate, and youth literacy rate gradually increased. Got my point? Any doubts, guys?
No, sir.
So future prospects in education sector in future, how it will be. So that's what education for all still a distance dream. Yes or no? Even there are some people, according to even we can find so many people, so many they are below poverty line and they can't afford what even pay the fee. Even those who are the government, they are providing free education system, but due to their poverty, they are sending their children where for job. Okay, you can see literacy rate for both adults as well as youth increased. However, absolute number of illiterates is still as much as India population was at the time of independence. In 1950, it was noted directives of the constitution that the government should provide free and compulsory education for all children up to 14 years. Had we done this, we have achieved 100% literacy by now. Okay, so as per the government constitution 1950, so they said free education for all, but என்ன பண்ணாங்க, due to poverty, most of the people they didn't send their children to school. They sent them for job and other various purpose. What happened? Still, there are illiterate peoples are there in our country. When general equity better than before. So you all know very well, right? So you can see this is a very good example. So those days in olden days and during before independence, they will not send women for what to education. You can see this here. Only 37 percentage adult literacy rate in 1990, but in 2015 it is 63 percentage. And what about literacy rate of youth? That is in 1990 only 54 percentage girls were went to college. They have completed degree, but in 2015 87 percentage. It's a good improvement. Okay, so that's what they are saying, better than before. So there is no equity. So literacy rate also, there is no discrimination based on gender. So both male and female, they provided equal opportunities to educate their knowledge. Then next one, higher education, a few takers. Okay, so in Indian education pyramid is steep, indicating lesser and lesser number of people reaching higher education level. So as per NS4 data, in the year 2011-12, the rate of unemployment among youth males who studied graduation and above in rural area was 19 percentage. Their urban counterparts had been relatively less than unemployment, that is 16 percentage. The most severely affected one were young rural female graduates, nearly 30 percentage of them unemployed. In the contrast of this, only about 3 to 6% of primary level educated youths, rural and urban areas were unemployed. Okay, so what happened? Unemployment. So we can see most of the people, like after completing their graduates or even post graduates, they won't get proper suitable job. Okay, so the unemployment rate in rural area is compared to high compared to urban area. In rural area, 19%, whereas in urban, 16%. Okay, so what is the conclusion in the sense? Still, we need to develop a lot. Still, we need the government need to do a lot of expenditures on water for water, health as well as education sectors. So with this chapter 5, HCF is done. Any doubts, guys? Any doubts for you?